James, did you ever get in trouble?
No,
You're lying.
I am.
45.
Question: what lockdowns did you ever experience in the military? Where? What was the reason? Location, time, and place? I know that we got to play the lockdown for when the towers got hit. We always went on lockdown, and it was like total communications lockdown. If somebody got hurt and they were doing the Heroes March on, bringing in somebody to fly them home,
Okay.
they would lock down all communications. That I remember lockdowns for that there. But outside of that, I don't remember too many more lockdowns unless you were in trouble. And then 45 and 45 applies.
James, did you ever get in trouble?
No,
You're lying.
I am.
45.
I got in trouble once. I had somebody plainly disrespect me out of my name, and I tried to be I tried to be nice about it. I tried to be civil about it, and he kept on referring me to a very derogatory term.
Okay.
And I told him, I was like, because we were at a regimental field off, so everybody and their mother's out. I said, hey, when we get back to the shop, we're gonna have a very nice conversation, just me and you. And we ended up.
James.
Yeah, we were right. We went back to the shop. I found him. I asked him to apologize. He said it one more time, and I think I tried to hit him as hard as I possibly could, and I was okay with it. My unit was okay with it because they had, even my boss was sitting beside me, but off to the distance enough to hear it, so he knew what was going to happen. But I hit him. He started bleeding all over the place, so we sent him to sick call to get stitches. Just my luck, the regimental commander walks into the sick call as he's sitting there bleeding, and now because it happened and the regimental commander was aware of it, here comes the heat.
What was your punishment?
45 and 45.
What does that mean?
45 days restriction, 45 days loss of pay.
Loss of pay? 45 days? Whoa. Okay, so you pay.
Yeah,
so
you
was
pay.
it worth it?
Absolutely.
Again.
The flag behind me is from the hospital that Jessica Lynch was rescued from.
You're kidding me. Tell me about that. You were part of that operation?
Yeah. So we were going in the south end of Nazaria, kind of looking for clues. First of all, we had, from the next day forward, it was the mission became to secure the city and to search for the Army POWs, and we didn't know about Jessica Lynch.
Can you remind people a little bit about who Jessica Lynch is and what that was about?
So while we were fighting inside the city, or to get inside the city, somehow, again, the communications got really screwed up. And General Mattis said that the rest of the invasionary force would drive around the city to continue their assault on to get to Baghdad. And apparently the 507 Maintenance Division from the Army didn't get those orders. And they kind of came through the middle of the city, and they passed the Quds Force headquarters that was in the southern end of the city. And the Quds Force are actually one of the, I guess, the special forces of Iraq.
Right.
So they opened up on the Army 507 maintenance. I think that they killed 11 soldiers and captured 6. And we rescued countless others. I'm still not sure how many.
Wow.
So that's why we pushed out to the bridges, the outskirts of the city that night, to kind of regroup, and with the Army POWs, and we had shut down any exit for the Iraqi forces to get out of the city. So they had to make a choice whether they were going to fight us or surrender. So this was the first house-to-house operation since Vietnam. So from that day forward, we were looking for clues for the Army POWs and then securing the city as well. So we came upon, bloody uniforms. We came upon where some of the soldiers were killed and then buried. So we had to dig them up and put them into body bags and send them back.
Oh gosh.
The Iraqi forces as well, before we found Jessica Lynch, nobody ever talks about this, but they had given us poor intel twice and to 2 different hospitals. And then whenever we would show up at the hospital to investigate, we would be ambushed. So the third time, we were clearing an industrial complex in the south of the city. And a Iraqi gentleman was taking us around and showing us where all these ammunition depots were. And that's where I found those mortar encampments. And so when we were taking all those mortars and artillery rounds, to blow them up and eliminate the threat, I was a lowly lance corporal. And so they sent me all the way out to the front to stop everybody from coming in. And that's whenever the same gentleman that was showing us where all the ammunition depots were said, this guy knows where the Army prisoners are. And I said, I've already heard this story before, come on. And he said, no, this is, for real. And again, he was showing us where all these ammunition dumps were. So just sent it up the chain of command, and then nobody believed him. And I said to my gunnery sergeant, I was like, come on, you really believe this guy? He says, no, but it's protocol. I have to.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
Command. And so the next morning about 4 a.m., we went to the hospital and they rescued her. And then by the time the sun came up about 6 or 7 a.m., we were on the way to Diwania for the next battle.
And how'd you get the flag?
Oh, how'd I get the flag? So afterwards, so they rescued her, and then we went to just kind of investigate, and I was the first one to the roof, and I took it. So,
Simple as that.
Yeah.
If
you actually look at it, you can see that the white part is pretty dirty, and that's from all the soot from the oil wells being burned.
Oh, wow.